G'day, Steeler Nation. Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. I'm your host, Mark. And today, guys, I'm having a bit of a bad hair day. So I won't be showing, my face on this quick video. But I do want to talk a little bit about the 2022 defense and the overall depth chart and what I think is going to happen in the upcoming game for the preseason game with the Seahawks. But most importantly, and more importantly, the 2022 regular season versus the Bengals. So I want to go over, this image here in the starting 11 in the 4-3 defense and talk about some of the positions. But I want to focus on a few key areas, and those areas will be middle linebacker and I guess to a certain degree, probably cornerback. Cornerback too. Cornerback's quite important, I think, in this defense. And defensive line too. Actually, you know what? We'll probably go over most of them, but let's start from where Haywood is sitting. So we have down the bottom, we have Cameron Haywood, Alualu, Ogunjobi for the first three guys that are our front runners for our defensive line, right? And according to, this is all via Steelers.com, the players who are backing them up is Isaiah Loudermilk, Montravius Adams, and Chris Wormley. So will DeMarvin Leal get a chance there at that position behind Larry Ogunjobi? I do like this front with Haywood and Alualu. Alualu is going into his last year, but I still think he's going to be quite important for this defense. And I like the rough and tumbleness of Ogunjobi. That's, filling in for Stephon Tuitt, because Stephon Tuitt for months and months, we're thinking, will he play, won't he play? And obviously, it's Ogunjobi's job right now. On the outside, we have Levi Wallace, and Ahkello Witherspoon. This is kind of a touchy area too for cornerback, right? Because we don't know, I guess, who would be our number one corner. Will it be Ahkello Witherspoon? Will it be Levi Wallace? And where does that really fit for Cameron Sutton and Arthur Millette? Arthur Millette on the Steelers depth chart, they have him at nickel, all right? They have Cameron Sutton at right cornerback, and they have Levi Wallace and Ahkello Witherspoon fighting it out for cornerback, I guess, left cornerback, or maybe cornerback position number one. So that's quite interesting already, how they double up these two positions. And we will get to Devin Bush and Robert Spillane as well. So with this defense, in the 4-3 defense, do they start Levi Wallace and Ahkello, or is it going to be one? Is it going to be one or the other? Will Cameron Sutton start alongside Ahkello Witherspoon, and will they feed in Levi Wallace, right? And behind those two corners is Chris Steele and James Pierre. So that's quite interesting, that battle there. And we still have a week to go of training camp to sort that out. And for me, I can't wait to see the Seahawk game where we can kind of see players, see players really get after it and verse another team. They're not versing their own team, so it's kind of fun that way. If we go into the outside linebackers, I think we all know it's going to be Highsmith and Watt, right? 100%. What the key thing for this defense is quite funny. And I do have it here. I have Miles Jack and Devin Bush as middle linebackers. However, this might be the controversy one heading into, the week one of preseason and the final week of training camp. So Devin Bush and Robert Spillane are both sitting at number one inside linebackers, left back, I think it is. And then right back inside linebacker is Miles Jack. Behind them is UG3, Marcus Allen, Buddy Johnson, and Mark Robinson, right? So there's a chance that's like, Buddy Johnson or Mark Robinson might be able to make the team. However, it's kind of indifferent how Devin Bush and Robert Spillane, I guess, are sharing that number one position. So Coach Tomlin did say not to worry about it too much. Don't look into it here and there. But at the same time, why would the Steelers label Devin Bush, number one? And they would also label Robert Spillane number one too, or, second fiddle to Miles Jack. Could we see in the preseason game or coming up in, versus the Bengals week one, could we see Miles Jack playing middle linebacker where he's going out there and wearing the mic and disguising coverages and communicating with Cameron Sutton and Minka Fitzpatrick and also, Haywood? Could Miles Jack be organizing the defense at the same time you plug in and play Robert Spillane rather than Devin Bush. We all know that Devin Bush had a really tough year last year coming back from that injury. So is it Devin Bush's job to lose? That's one big question I want you guys to, if you can, write in the comments. Will it be Devin Bush or will it be Robert Spillane? Come week one versus the Bengals. I didn't really expect that Spillane would have a chance to maybe be alongside Miles Jack, but he's working super hard in the training camp. And why not? He's kind of that Vince Williams role, kind of thumper, runs down there, doesn't care about his body. We all know what happened with that Titans game and Derrick Henry. We absolutely blew him to pieces. So maybe it might be Miles Jack, and maybe it might be Miles Jack alongside Robert or Bobbert Spillane, depending how Devin Bush comes into this defense. At the same time, maybe they might use Devin Bush, sparingly in certain third down packages as well. Kind of how they use sometimes Marcus Allen. That could be a possibility too. So it's quite intriguing for me. I did have this, updated with the Ogunjobi being brought in. I still do think that Witherspoon and Wallace will be fighting it out, but there's a case there for Cameron Sutton at cornerback of his veteran leadership, but he more or less plays, in my opinion, he plays better in the slot role in coverage. But at the same time, the cornerback room isn't as strong as it used to be without Joe Hayden, but you do need a guy like Cameron Sutton there to, communicate the fellas around the field. Now, here we go. At the end, we have Terrell Edmonds and Minka Fitzpatrick, right? I know I haven't showed my face. Like I said, this is just me talking today, and pretty much I'm having a bad hair day, and I've got some really, really bad lighting at the moment. There's a lot of things going wrong. Hopefully my audio today is fantastic. But what also is fantastic is Terrell Edmonds at the back there, safety, strong safety, and Minka Fitzpatrick, right? The more I look at this image, the more I think top 5 defense. The more I look at this image, I think, well, we might have problems on the offense. If they go out there and start Trubisky, it might be tough, right? It might be very tough. At the same time, we do have Najee Harris. We can use Muth. We can use Gentry in blocks. Hopefully the O-line's better. But if they can sustain some drives, I think this defense has a chance to keep the other team below 23, 24, maybe 24 points a game, depending who we are versing, right? I know we are. I think we're versing the Bills this year too. So that would be kind of crazy. But if we can keep the opponent down to 24 points a game or under 20, 23, right, and have a chance to go out there and get 27 or something similar, this top 5 defense with Watt, Highsmith on the edge, Haywood, Fitzpatrick at the back, it's going to be quite fun to watch. But there still are some camp battles going on that have been laid out via the Pittsburgh Steelers in their depth chart. Devin Bush, Robert Spillane, and Witherspoon and Wallace. So that's quite intriguing. What do you guys think of my 2022 projected defense? Do you like the idea? Do you like the style? I think it looks fantastic. I think having Edmonds and Fitzpatrick at the back, I think it's crazy, absolutely crazy. Because Edmonds can come down into the box as well. I think Highsmith and Jack are going to work well together. I think if Devin Bush is plug and play next to Miles Jack, or if it is Robert Spillane, I think they both will excel in different forms. I think hopefully that Devin Bush can play more coverage and trust his leg better and run around the field like he used to, right? And if you can't do that, maybe and hopefully that Bobbert Spillane can go in there and crash down and meet the running back one-on-one in the hole and stop them exactly the same way he did like Derrick Henry. And of course, we have TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year, and Haywood, Alualu, and Ogunjobi will hopefully close all the holes for this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Thanks, guys, for checking out another video from the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. A little bit different today. Like I said, I've got a bit of a bad hair day, and my lighting is pretty terrible. So I thought, why not show the 2022 projected defense that I think is going to happen? Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? And yeah, here we go, Steelers. Here we